Hello everyone, and welcome to my Bold and Beautiful Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Brooke's heartbreak, Steffy's plan being exposed, and Hope and Carter being tricked. The brave and the lovely. Ridge Forrester and Brooke Logan's relationship will genuinely fall apart in the interim. Their romance won't endure long since Ridge won't accept Brooke's justifications for taking the CEO position. Given that Ridge is going to provide a night of intense surprises, Taylor Hayes, Rebecca Budig, will undoubtedly be happy about this. For their evening together, Ridge will present Taylor with a unique gown that he designed. Makeout sessions will undoubtedly be enjoyable for Taylor and Ridge, but they might go farther and have sex. Although Ridge and Taylor didn't fully commit the first time, they might now accept their true desires in the bedroom. Hope Logan and Carter Walton will continue to meet at Forrester Creations to discuss their plans for perfume. Though they acknowledged that the stakes were high and that they couldn't afford to make a mistake, Carter and Hope thought Fanny Grayson's argument was compelling. That may indicate that Fanny will find out Hope and Carter are passing on her collection when she returns in the next week. Maybe in the end, Carter and Hope will decide it's just not quite the right fit. In contrast, Daphne Rose, who has her own expertise in fragrance, will travel from France and make a pitch that should secure her career at Forrester. Daphne will be tasked with coming up with a distinctive Forrester fragrance and starting a perfume line that Brooke will eventually accept. Regarding this entire fragrance thing moving Forrester to the next level, Carter, Hope, and Brooke will all agree. However, Daphne will be working behind the scenes to retake the company for the Forresters, so there will be more to her than meets the eye. It will be entertaining to see Daphne and Steffy collaborate behind the scenes, as Steffy will be her covert boss. She will comfort Brooke about her breakup with Ridge and encourage her to seize this new CEO opportunity once she is back with Hope. Once Ridge is swooning over Taylor once more, Hope will attempt to get Brooke to focus on her work as a diversion. Will Brooke decide that perhaps Carter and Hope's idea is the best one, or will she continue with her plan to return the company to the Forresters? In any event, Taylor and Ridge's relationship can develop rapidly while Brooke is working at Forrester Creations. Will Ridge ask Taylor to marry him sooner rather than later, as he will be enmeshed in this rekindling? During the week of January 13th to 17th, Taylor and Ridge will undoubtedly become closer, but there will also be some significant changes occurring on canvas. Daphne and Steffy will undoubtedly talk about Steffy's objective of regaining Forrester power at some planning meetings. Bill may also experience some near misses with Luna, particularly if Katie Logan ever pays him a visit. Additionally, there is the issue of Remy Price and his future after being arrested by the police off-screen. Will Remy be able to avoid charges or at the very least post bail? In any case, Remy might find himself back on the streets and begin plotting revenge on Will. There may be more danger ahead because Remy might not give up on a future with Elektra. According to teasers for The Bold and the Beautiful, the upcoming 2 weeks will feature some breathtaking moments. Stay tuned for additional storyline predictions and updates on any upcoming surprises. When Will Spencer invites Elektra Forrester over to see his father, Bill Spencer will conceal Luna Nozawa, according to previews for the following 2 weeks, January 6th to 17th. But during the week of January 6th to 10th, Luna will spy on Will and discover that he is dreaming as she looks at him. It appears that Luna will replace her current obsession with a younger Spencer. Ridge is put in a difficult situation by Steffy's wrath. When it comes to family, devotion, and preserving the Forrester tradition, Steffy Forrester, who is renowned for her ferocious passion and unwavering resolve, has never been one to hold back her feelings. Her anger can be both inevitable and devastating when she feels deceived or insulted. This is the case when Steffy's world and her father Ridge Forrester's recent behavior intersect, leaving her feeling surrounded and deceived to the point that she must act rashly. Steffy's mounting annoyance with Ridge's hesitancy, affiliations, and apparent betrayals intensifies into a tempest that not only puts her relationships in jeopardy but also puts Ridge in a difficult situation he never saw coming. The instigator. As Ridge wavers between Taylor Hayes and Brooke Logan once more, the tension between Steffy and Ridge starts to build. The Forrester family has long suffered from Ridge's inability to make a firm decision between the two women, and Steffy, who is devoted to her mother Taylor, is tired of his constant uncertainty. Steffy has always expressed her hatred for Brooke and her desire for Taylor and Ridge to get back together, but Ridge's recent behavior, or lack thereof, makes her patience run the gamut. Steffy feels betrayed and extremely protective of her mother when she learns that Ridge has been meeting with Brooke in secret despite his assurances to Taylor. Ever forgiving and hopeful, Taylor is unable to face Ridge head-on because she believes he will eventually come back to her. Steffy is enraged by this since she witnesses her mother's weakness being taken advantage of once more. For Steffy, Ridge's choices signify a lack of respect for Taylor and the family she has fought so hard to safeguard, and they go beyond simple romantic hesitation. Unleashed wrath. Steffy doesn't let his rage fester for too long. She takes on Ridge head-on in typical Steffy way, unwilling to let him escape responsibility for his deeds. Steffy reveals her frustrations, worries, and disappointments in an emotional confrontation. Steffy says, "You don't get to keep hurting Mom like this," her voice quivering with a mixture of sadness and rage. "Your behavior contradicts your assertion that you adore her. You're telling Mom and the rest of us that we don't matter enough every time you visit Brooke." Taken aback by Steffy's anger, Ridge tries to justify himself by pointing to his complex past relationships with both women and the challenge of making such a significant life decision. Steffy, however, won't let him get away with it. She responds, "Dad, it's not just about who you pick. It's about becoming the guy you've always claimed to be, treating others with dignity, and accepting responsibility. You're disappointing everyone right now, including yourself." A corner was backed into by Ridge. Ridge is surprised by how severely Steffy's words hurt him. He has been navigating the emotional minefield of his relationships for years by relying on his charm and his family's devotion. However, he now has no obvious way out of the situation since Steffy has turned all of her anger on him. Her charges cut right to the core of his personality, making him face hard realities about his actions and how they affect the people he cares about. Ridge finds Steffy's anger especially difficult because of how it relates to her position at Forrester Creations. Steffy has a lot of power because she is a company leader, and her displeasure might go beyond their personal connection. As a father and a co-leader of the family business, Ridge starts to feel the pressure. Steffy's discontent begins to permeate their working relationship, causing friction that influences boardroom choices and employee morale. Steffy's demands for responsibility and openness further complicate matters. She insists that Ridge tell the whole family what he intends to do, not just her and Taylor. Ridge is forced to examine whether his hesitancy is due to real emotional struggle or a fear of commitment and change as a result of her insistence on transparency. The effects of ripples. Ridge is not the only member of the Forrester family to be shaken by Steffy's anger. Despite being moved by her daughter's unwavering devotion, Taylor is torn by the demands being made on Ridge. She exhorts Steffy to be understanding and patient, stating that the foundation of their family's strength is love and forgiveness. During an emotional chat, Taylor informs Steffy, "Your father isn't perfect. But in his own way, he loves us. It can take some time to find love." Steffy, however, is not persuaded. She finds Taylor's viewpoint to be unduly lenient, even enabling, and it only makes her determination to hold Ridge responsible stronger. When Brooke learns of Steffy's rage, he takes advantage of the situation to sow more division. She starts gently sowing doubts in Ridge's head, making him wonder if Steffy is really acting to protect Taylor or to dictate Ridge's decisions. With Ridge torn between the women in his life, not just romantically, but also as a father, ex-husband, and business partner, this dynamic adds another level of conflict. He feels more constrained as he attempts to manage these relationships. Every choice he makes seems to result in greater conflict. The strategic actions of Steffy. Steffy's anger shows up in calculated acts intended to coerce Ridge's hand in marriage in addition to emotional altercations. She starts using her position at Forrester Creations to emphasize her vision for the company's future, which is based on respect and family harmony. By enlisting the help of important players such as Eric and Thomas, Steffy forges a unified front that quietly isolates Ridge and emphasizes the need of integrity and decisiveness. Simultaneously, Steffy begins highlighting Brooke's history of deceit and manipulation, both inside the family and the business. She creates a story that portrays Brooke as a disruptive force and contrasts her behavior with Taylor's unwavering devotion. This strategy not only enhances Taylor's reputation but also increases Ridge's pressure to support stability and family values. The tipping point. When Steffy calls a family meeting and insists that Ridge explain his plans in front of everyone, the situation erupts. As years of unsolved disputes and grudges surface, the gathering is hot and emotionally charged. Steffy says resolutely, "This family deserves better than half-truths and broken promises. We are entitled to respect, transparency, and honesty. And perhaps it's time to back off and let someone else take the lead if you are unable to provide us with that." Ridge is left reeling with her demand. For the first time, he understands that his inability to make a decision has put his family's reputation in danger in addition to straining his relationships. Steffy is forced to face his concerns and make a decision because of the weight of his expectations and the Forrester clan's cohesiveness. In conclusion, driven by love, loyalty, and an unbreakable devotion to her family, Steffy's rage acts as a test of Ridge's character as well as a motivator for transformation. She compels Ridge to face the repercussions of his actions and the legacy he wishes to leave behind by painting him into a corner. The voyage offers the possibility of development, healing, and a stronger Forrester family even though it is full of strife and heartbreak. Steffy's anger serves as a reminder that even the most intense storms can lead to better horizons, if those caught in the storm are prepared to face their truths and come out stronger. This is especially true in the high-stakes world of the bold and the beautiful, where alliances are always changing and emotions run deep. A strong champion for her family and the history of Forrester creations, Steffy Forrester is a woman of action. But even the strongest voices can break occasionally, and silence, whether motivated by fear, strategy, or misaligned priorities, can have unexpected repercussions. Steffy's silence about her mother, Taylor Hayes, who has long suffered from the emotional upheaval of her complex connection with Ridge Forrester, is an example of this. Taylor has always provided her kids with stability and support, but Steffy's inability to publicly and consistently defend her mother's value and sacrifices sometimes casts Taylor in the background of Ridge's other love interest, Brooke Logan. In addition to failing Taylor, this silence runs the risk of undermining her legacy, influence, and legitimate position within the Forrester family. The burden of Taylor's history. The Forrester family has a rich history with Taylor Hayes. She has endured many hardships as a well-known doctor, a loving mother, and a woman of unflinching grace. Although she had a deep love for Ridge, it frequently left her open to heartbreak, especially when Brooke kept coming back into her life. Despite Ridge's inconsistencies and betrayals, Taylor always acted honorably, putting her kids' welfare ahead of her own complaints. Taylor's sacrifices were not forgotten by Steffy. As a child, she observed her mother's silent fortitude and her capacity to endure extreme suffering. Steffy frequently praised Taylor for her dignity and fortitude, but praise is insufficient on its own. Even while Steffy has occasionally stood up for her mother in tense arguments with Brooke, her lack of public support when Taylor needed it has hurt Taylor's standing in the Forrester family dynamic over time. The unspoken expectations. Steffy's silence is the result of a complicated web of feelings and expectations. Being the head of Forrester Creations and a major family member, Steffy frequently feels the burden of upholding harmony and equilibrium. Speaking out too strongly in support of Taylor runs the risk of making things worse, especially with Ridge and Brooke, whose tumultuous relationship is still a major plot point in Forrester drama. Steffy has also long held the view that deeds speak louder than words. She believes that by supporting Taylor during trying times and arguing for her involvement in family decisions, she is demonstrating her undying devotion to her mother. This presumption, however, ignores a crucial reality. Remaining silent during public arguments or family conflicts may be interpreted as complacency or, worse, as support for those who wish to minimize Taylor's worth. Perception is crucial in the ruthless world of the bold and the beautiful, where power dynamics change with each disclosure and conflict. Steffy unwittingly lets others steer the conversation by not openly and persistently supporting Taylor, frequently to Taylor's detriment. The Brooke factor. Brooke Logan, Taylor's longtime adversary for Ridge's affections, plays a big role in this dynamic. With her unwavering confidence and seductive appeal, Brooke has perfected the ability of taking over discussions and establishing herself as the focal point of the Forrester world. Her determination to battle for what she wants at any cost strengthens her position to influence Ridge and family decisions. Taylor, on the other hand, has always taken a more methodical and reflective approach. Although this demonstrates her integrity, it also makes her more susceptible to being overshadowed, especially in a family where loud statements and showy actions are frequently valued more highly than quiet fortitude. Knowing this dynamic, Steffy has occasionally remained silent either to avoid conflict or because she feels her mother's behavior should speak for itself. But Brooke's unrelenting quest for power needs a counterpoint that is just as outspoken. By keeping quiet, Steffy unintentionally gives Brooke the upper hand, enabling her adversary to control the plot and maintain the notion that Taylor plays a supporting role in Ridge's life and the Forrester family's overall dynamic. The price of quietness. Steffy's silence has had far-reaching effects. Personally, it runs the risk of alienating Taylor, who might feel ignored or undervalued in spite of her tireless devotion and love. Although Taylor would never express such sentiments because she is too humble and selfless to do so, it is obvious that she yearns for approval from her kids, especially Steffy, whose viewpoint is highly valued in the family. The effect is equally significant on a professional level. Due to the ongoing drama involving Ridge and Brooke, Taylor's contributions to the stability and prosperity of the Forrester family are frequently overlooked. The idea that Taylor is not an equal participant in the Forrester legacy is strengthened by this lack of acknowledgement, which also lessens her influence within the family. Furthermore, the family dynamic becomes unbalanced as a result of Steffy's silence. Steffy permits the destructive cycle of partiality, deceit, and emotional neglect to continue by failing to openly challenge Brooke's story. In addition to undermining Taylor's argument, this keeps the instability that Steffy has been working so hard to eradicate alive. Shattering the silence. Steffy needs to discover her voice and utilize it to improve Taylor's standing in the family in order to make this right. This does not include arguing over little matters or adopting Brooke's combative style. Rather, it calls for deliberate acts that uphold Taylor's value and contributions. First and foremost, Steffy ought to try hard to publicly acknowledge Taylor's achievements and sacrifices. This might include expressing gratitude in business meetings, giving moving speeches at family get-togethers, or even planning events that showcase Taylor's knowledge and skills. In addition to confirming Taylor's worth, these actions would change the family's opinion of her from one of a helpless person to one of power and influence. Second, Steffy needs to speak to Ridge personally and implore him to acknowledge the harm his behavior has caused Taylor and to make her happiness a top priority. This discussion should be presented as an appeal to Ridge's better nature rather than an attack, reminding him of his strong relationship with Taylor and the significance of treating her with the deference she merits. Steffy must now take on Brooke directly, opposing her attempts to minimize Taylor and reaffirming her mother's legitimate position within the family. Despite the possibility of confrontation, this is an essential step in breaking the poisonous patterns that have afflicted the Forrester clan for many years. The path ahead. There have been obstacles in Steffy's path to speak up and support Taylor. She must manage complicated emotions, familial allegiances, and the constant danger of upsetting the people she cares about. But for Taylor's benefit as well as the Forrester family's future, it is a worthwhile adventure. Steffy may help rewrite the story by helping Taylor discover her voice, making sure that her legacy is one of grace, courage, and unshakable love. By doing this, she not only pays tribute to her mother but also establishes herself as a real family leader, a woman who values loyalty, honesty, and the ability to stand up for what is right. Silence may be golden in some situations in the high-stakes world of the bold and the beautiful, but having the guts to stand up for those who are most important might be the ultimate gesture of love. For Steffy, speaking up is about more than simply selling Taylor short, it's about taking back her mother's proper position in the family and making sure her voice is heard. Carter wants to launch a perfume line with a signature Forrester scent. This is where Daphne Rose comes in. Daphne will dazzle and impress Carter and Hope. However, Daphne has actually been planted by Steffy Forrester Finnegan. It is also teased that Daphne could cause some issues with Hope's relationship. Shin tested. The bold and the beautiful spoilers for 2025 tease that John Finnegan and Steffy's marriage will be tested once again. While Will Spencer saved Electra Forrester, Remy Price could still be a problem. Remy was arrested, but it would be easy to see him getting mental health treatment instead of prison. Shin might also be tested because of Luna Nozawa's release. While Bill Spencer told Luna, nobody could find out she's there, the secret will be exposed eventually. While Finn might give Luna a cautious benefit of the doubt, Steffy won't be able to forget what the young girl did to her. The Bold and the Beautiful Spoilers, 2025 Preview. The head writer confirmed that Brooke Logan and Taylor Hayes have a spicy rivalry. Fans are beyond tired of Brooke and Taylor fighting over Ridge Forrester, so maybe there will be something different and exciting about this spicy rivalry in 2025? Will one of them get the idea to do deep fakes of the other? Back to Luna, Penelope Poppy Nozawa Lee Finnegan, and Jack Finnegan will be part of the storyline. As for Liam Spencer, he's about to get a front-burner storyline. However, details about that are being kept under wraps. Finally, Deacon Sharp and Sheila Carter Sharp will get a sizzling storyline that is unlike anything fans have seen before, so stay tuned.